Oh, Hare Krishna, welcome to our boot camp. We are at step 7 already. How amazing. Okay, who doesn't like a rasgulla? Well, who does not? Do you like rasgullas? So, jokes aside, this is all about our endless chase for sweet rewards that actually change us. Okay, step 7 is all about recognizing the endless chase for sweet rewards that actually chain us. So in step 7, we have to ask ourselves, are we desiring freedom or are we just desiring better conditions within the prison house? So Rasgulla in jail, sweet freedom or sweet chains? Why? Because I might desire a Rasgulla, but the law of nature says if you want that particular rasgulla, whatever the rasgulla is for each of us, I have to go to prison. Desire the rasgulla, but at what cost? So similarly, good karma feels sweet, yet it chains us subtly. We may not realize it, but step 7 is seeking freedom, not just seeking better prison conditions. All right. Then going further, see, the irony here is, here you see pictures of different kinds of prisons. The point is when we stop being picky about the decor of our jail cell, I don't like this particular thing, I'd like to adjust it, instead of start asking, how do I get out of this prison cell altogether every moment? Until that time, freedom does not come. So only we keep getting stuck. There's so many examples in the scriptures of this. Those people who did not ask the question, such as Duryodhana. He did not ask that question and he kept wanting the sweet rasgulla and he kept ending up in prison. By the way, it's our story too. We just don't remember many thousands and thousands of lifetimes that we have been seeking that rasgulla. Oh, if only I had a good spouse. Okay, this life you have good spouse, but then you might have other problems in other areas of life. If only I had good children. Okay, come back into the prison again, go into the mother's womb again, experience. So the two prisons. One prison is all about bad karma prison. Nobody wants that. No food, no bed, harsh conditions, right? We all are ready to let go of that bad karma. And then there's a good karma prison. And in the good karma prison, there's comfort. Better bed, you can see here. It's because some prisons don't even have beds. And here, some prisons have bed. You can have an alarm clock. You can have some your own comfort. But still, there's no freedom. And the irony is also that we have to come back another lifetime when we create a desire or we suppress particular lesson as well. So step 7 insight here, weaving our philosophy is no better prisons, but liberation. No, let's not go for better prisons, but go for liberation. Oh, wait. So freedom means not seeking for the facility. It's not that we want to have facility, but it's about not seeking it. Okay, let me just this verse here. So the acronym for today, let me see if, so the acronym for today is float. So what does float represent? Not anymore survival, but floating represents that we are allowing, floating in what, of course? Floating in the mercy of the Lord. So there's a couple of verses from Bhagavad Gita. This is 9.28. Shubha, actually, I'm supposed to show you 9.27 first, so let me go to that one. 9.27 is Yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad juhoshi dadashyat yat tapassasvi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So this is a verse is not even about pure bhakti, is not even about being a yogi. This is actually basic karma yoga. Everybody has to eat. So you eat and you offer to Krishna and then you eat. Everybody will have some charitable nature. You do it for Krishna like that. Srila Prabhupada says, and this is a purport to this verse, everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that the surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. When we read this, we may think, oh yeah, Srila Prabhupada is talking about this because he's the founder. No, the next verse actually reveals that why that's the best thing to do. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanai Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mam Upaishasi. So moksha se karma bandhana. The good karma is also binding us to do what? I want the rasgulla. Yeah, come back to the prison. So the karma bandhana is that prison of coming to this body again. In this way, you will be freed from bondage of to work. And it's auspicious and inauspicious results. So we often want the auspicious results, but we just don't want the inauspicious. But here's like, I want the rasgulla, I just don't want the hard bed. But the point is, you have to still go to the jail to eat the rasgulla. So unless I'm not willing to let go of that desire, and then I'm still coming back to the prison. So here, this concept of Shubha, Ashubha, auspicious, inauspicious. Yes, auspicious is also binding. It brings me. Then I already showed 27. So step 7, the prayer for step 7 is this. My Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me, the good and bad. I pray that now you remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows, or usefulness to you and your devotees. Grant me the strength as I go out from here to do your bidding. So your devotees is I added, but this is the original prayer without the your devotees. This is the original prayer. When I do my prayer, I say your devotees. And instead of my Creator, you can say, my dear Giriraj, my dear Gaurnitai, my dear Narshingadev. I say Narshingadev because the whole concept of removing every single character defect, I feel like Narshingadev can do with his diamond-like nails. There's another verse that really is very dear to my heart. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यदा तल्लभ्यते दुःखवादन्यथा सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा. This verse of Bhagavatam has been like a game changer for me. It's all about an intelligent person. He doesn't endeavor for those things which can be obtained by going up to Brahmaloka, going down to Patala Loka. He goes for something that is beyond. No, he goes beyond the jail. No, he's not thinking about how do I get comfortable in this prison house. And then Tallabhyate dukkavad anyatha sukham means Bhagavatam is saying that the happiness, you don't have to endeavor for it. It comes on its own accord. Kalena sarvatra gabira ramhasa. Means just like distress also comes without invitation. We don't say, distress, please come. Please, I'm feeling too much happiness. Please come, I'm feeling sad. I mean, I want to feel sad. I want to feel pain. Please come. Nobody's inviting, but it comes on its own accord. So similarly, the happiness will also come. So there's no need to endeavor. And we see in the examples, we will see examples of Ambrish Maharaj or Arjuna. They didn't have to endeavor. Already they were rich. They remained rich. So similarly, for some material things, we don't have to endeavor. What we have to endeavor is this float concept. Okay, let me go back to the slides. Right. This is the acronym for today, okay? The float. So can I have a volunteer to read the whole thing? Doshna, would you like to read it? Oh, it doesn't come properly. I know. Okay. लभ्यते दुःखवादन्यथा सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा. Okay, the acronym is here. Kindly read it. Okay, good. Float.
Float. F. Free from definitions. Let go of the labels. Good, bad, worthy, not enough. These are cages we no longer need. L. Let Krishna lead. Surrender the driver's seat. He knows the way out of the maze. O. Out of the prison mindset. No more decorating jail cells. We want out, not comfort, but freedom. A. Accepting divine timing. There is no rush, no proving. Just trust that Krishna's plan is better than ours. T. Trust in mercy. We stop trying to earn love. We float in it. We stop surviving. We thrive.
Yes, thank you very much, Darshana. So the contrast here is, see, spiritual royalty versus material riches. Spiritual royalty is example of Ambarish Maharaj, Arjuna. And the heart of step 7 is not detachment from, oh, you give up everything you have, give up your position. It's actually from detachment from the illusion that they define your worth or your safety or your security or your freedom. So these devotees, such as Ambarish Maharaj, they had wealth and fame, and Arjuna, yet they worship the giver, not the gifts. Sometimes we want the gifts, and when I say it's not, we may say, I'm not asking for a helicopter, but I am asking, I want to be a good wife, I want to be a good devotee, I want to be able to get all my work done, I want to tick all things in my list so I can actually feel good. So all these things belong in this category. So we are not saying we have to be detached from the duty, but we have to be detached from the illusion that only if I tick all the things I want to do, I want to accomplish, only if I can control people around me the way I want, only if I can get my house in order the way I want, then I am worthy, then I am. So that we are working on detaching from the illusion that these things define my worth and my freedom. No, these things are binding me. That's the good thing. We want to be the good karma. We want to be a good person so we can enjoy the good rasgulla. I want to get all my things done so I can have my rasgulla. But that's another bondage. We are not allowing Krishna there. It's all about me, my job, my project, my sadhana, we are not prioritizing Krishna. That's the problem. That's the jail. So the point is, these devotees were still in the world, Ambarish, Arjuna, Parikshit, but they no longer no longer depended on it. In other words, they were in this world, but not of the world. The problem we struggle at step 7, when we cannot float, when you're not experiencing that floating, it means that you've become part of the world instead of actually, you're in the world, but you don't have to be off the world. Ambarish was like, you remember, right? He waited 1 year for Durvasa. He didn't say, I have so many services to do. He was so aligned to Krishna's will. And a contrast example is, of course, Duryodhana. So Ambarish and Parikshit and Arjuna were like, let go of I want and embrace thy will be done. This is the formula to float. Thy will be done. Ask yourself, why am I frustrated that all these things are not done? Because I wanted it done. Haha, go back to step 4. So Duryodhana was all about choose riches, choose his will, choose his will. And what happened? He lost all of it. But whereas, we look at Ambarish, we look at Bali Maharaj, you look at Prahlad, they were rich, they remained rich. Things were not lost, but actually they gained because they were not after what it is, they were after the giver. So we are doing it for Krishna. And chill, chill, connect with Kalachandji, connect with Krishna. It doesn't matter. So in the world, not of the world, because freedom comes beyond the material identity. As long as I'm still thinking, I didn't get this done because I wanted to. Why did I want to get that done? Self-will. Okay. Next is, this one is my favorite part of step 7. When good becomes ego cement. I actually wrote a poetry on this point of ego cement. You can't float when your ego is wearing cement boots, correct? You cannot float. The shoe will come up and you'll be stuck. So when you drop the badge, I am spiritual, I am working on myself, I am such a good mother, I am such a good whatever. That's the badge that I'm holding on to. That's the boots of cement boots. And this was a challenging step for me. It took me 3 or 4 times of doing 12 steps to actually get the feel of it. My sponsor kept saying, like, give up your self-improvement projects, fall into divine grace, fall into divine grace. It was so hard. It was so hard, but it's possible, because the self-focus, it traps us. I am right. I deserve this. I'm doing all this. Why am I still not able to? So that it's a trap. It's a trap of that's holding me back. And true spiritual life means asking, is this pleasing to Krishna? Is this emotion of resentment and frustration about me, not whatever it is? I mean, I'm bringing up this example again and again. We have all these things to do, but we're not doing, and we feel resentful. But at step 7, even that goes. We're so able to float. Then when you, of course, come to step 10 and 11, then magic really, like, your life just shifts. But until then, the 7 is all about looking at, is this pleasing to Krishna? Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Am I doing this for Krishna truly? Or is this my cement boots? You cannot remember, you cannot float if you're wearing cement boots. And step 7, insight is this point that drop the self badges, trust divine decisions. This is what Bhagavatam teaches us. This is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Okay, so floating on mercy means letting go. We're not afraid or resentful anymore. I'm telling you, if you do step 7 nicely, you reach this point very, very soon. Very soon. No, it doesn't, the default emotion does not become resentment. Default emotion is not fear. We just know, I want out of the prison. Jiji vishena hamiha muyakim antar bahishchavritaye bayonya. Remember Gajendra. He did not just say, please release me from this crocodile so I can go back to my life. No, he said, release me from this crocodile, but I don't want to go back to the elephant life. Our problem is, they say, just give me this, let this material desire happen, Krishna. Then I'll be more Krishna conscious. And then we have to come back again into the prison cell. So we know we want freedom in the realm of Krishna, in the realm of love for Krishna. We don't want burdens, because good karma is a burden. Not even the burden of I need to work on myself. Whoa, that's like I said, I had to do like 3 times 12 steps to get there, to like let go. I don't, working on myself. Even that has to, that attachment to that also has to go. That's when the floating happens. Not afraid, not resentful, surrender over struggle. And from survival to thriving, this is where it truly happens. I've been talking about this thing. Survival is all about, how can I adjust in this prison cell? How can I make this prison cell more comfortable? That's survival. And thriving is like, no, faith, Krishna, I planned my survival, I tried, but now I want to do your way. That's surrender. That's thriving. So thriving happens in surrender. So using this faith to replace that constant self-work, because it's like never ending black hole. But when we focus on Krishna, then we unplug from that matrix, and we walk outside of that Brahmatham Upariyada. Instead of going up and down, many, many lifetimes we have taken, and then we forget, and then start over all over again. So this is that moment. Step 7 is that moment. The promise of the step 7 is you will unplug from that mental matrix. That's where the overthinking stops. And that's where you get release. You get that, you don't have to keep rewiring your brain forever, because all the motivational, whatever, therapies, talks, processes, programs, without Krishna in the center, it is just trying to keep wiring your brain. But when you do, that's why the step work is so powerful, because it's God-centered, it's Krishna-centered. Then through this, at some point, you will feel that unplug from that matrix. Okay, so we have 2 prayers, right? One prayer we read in the beginning. This one is like I put this together. Preparation of the step 7. Dear Krishna, dear Lord, I surrender prison of my own good and bad labels. Let me serve with a soft, surrendered heart, not to earn your love, because it's already mine, because we are already Krishna's. He says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. He says, you're mine. And Krishna says, I'm yours. All right. Can somebody read this prayer, please? And everybody can keep yourself muted, but you can read it. Pankajarada, would you like to read the prayer?
Yes, Mataji, sorry. Dear Lord, I surrender prison of my own good or bad levels. Let me serve with a soft, surrendered heart, not to earn your love, it's already mine. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. That is the floating. That's where the floating happens. So this prayer is all about the radical trust. Let your feelings float and experience what the floating is. This prayer gives you the feeling of floating. And once you're floating, you do the step 7 prayer. No need to fix, no need to prove, no need to polish. This is the spiritual exhale. What freedom looks like? Freedom beyond karma. So not better jail, but liberation. Trust over control, surrender to divine will, stop struggling. And peace in acceptance, letting go of our plans. Okay, so let me, we'll do the prayer. Okay, we have 5 minutes, good. So key takeaways, just quickly. Recognize subtle bondage. Oh, what is binding me? Oh, my plans are not getting done. That's what is binding me. Recognize what it is for you. Then choose liberation over comfort. Oh, if only I got those things done, I would feel more comfortable. So it's about you. Then surrender ego and desires, not build a wall. Then trust the divine will, because the divine will trust does not come without doing those. So next steps, after 7, what are you supposed to do? You practice surrender daily. Do the step 7 prayer every day. Step 3 prayer and step 7 prayer is highly recommended medicine every day. Intake medicine. Remind yourself, not earning love. You're not trying to earn love. You're already enough. You're already divine. It's just that the connection is like loose. You just wait for the connection. You just connect to Krishna. Then watch for egos egos return and run also. Stay humble. Keep focus on Krishna. Prepare for step 8. So step 8 is all about making amends with the grace. See, 8 and 9 will show you what is still coming up. What are the bubbles to do that work? So 8 and 9 will help you do those amends. Step 7 is where no more burdens. Don't have to carry burdens anymore. Just giving it to the Lord. So I'm going to stop here and then quickly we will do our prayer. Can I have a volunteer to read step 7 prayer one more time?
Okay. I'm not able to see the screen, Mataji.
1 second, coming. Yes. Now?
Not yet. Yeah. My Creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my uselessness to you.
Usefulness.
And usefulness, to you and my fellow or your devotees. You now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and your devotees. Give me strength as I go out from here to do your bidding. Are you on mute?
Yes, we have to stay mute when you do this prayer. and float. So whenever you do this prayer, when you exhale, you remember you are floating. You're not trying to prove anything. You just hear, Krishna, as I go out from here, grant me the strength to do your bidding. Grant me the strength to do your will. All right, so that's the end of the presentation. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji. So Mataji, you talked about surrender. I've been hearing some classes also which talked about surrender. So I'm trying to understand what the surrender mean is. Should I plan or should I not plan? There is Krishna's plan. There is my plan. If I just not plan, then what will I do? So
This is step 7, actually. So the answer is when you're doing step 7, when you're journaling, when you're doing step 7, you write down, like I said about the releasing those. Okay, you write your plan down, and then you say, Krishna, the good part of this plan, the bad part of this plan, I hand it over to you. Your will and not mine be done. So who would say this about planning? See, there are certain things, for example, chanting our rounds or like brushing your teeth or taking a shower, cooking breakfast. Even without planning, you will do it because it's the part of your lifestyle, it's habits. You just do it anyway. And then we adapt other things. The path, you remember the path, the elephant and the rider. There is no force here. You can't force the elephant. It's just an established factor. So what can you do? You can only clear the path. You can clear the path, meaning what is it that you want? We want Krishna's will. So you clear the path so that we can walk towards Krishna's will. If does watching movie help you connect to Krishna? Does scrolling help you connect with Krishna? We use common sense, obviously not. So we clear the path. And does overthinking help me align to Krishna's will? Obviously not. So the goal is not just give up scrolling. The goal is not just stop eating sugar. The goal is to connect to Krishna. So when you say, what do I do if I don't plan? You align to Krishna. You pray to Krishna. You connect to Krishna. You call Krishna in. You ask Krishna what you should do. I mean, this is in a broader sense, but obviously the mind is very tricky. It tricks us. In certain occasions, we don't want to do because internally, that's why step 7 is advanced. We have to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 honestly, because there has to be fearless moral inventory. What are my patterns? What are my anarthas that I'm holding on to? Only then we can do step 7. Floating is not possible if there's no, if there has been no honesty. So I have to be honest. Where am I making an excuse? If at the time that I'm supposed to be chanting, I say, no, I'm not supposed to plan anything. I'm just supposed to just float. That may be anartha of this in the step 4, that I'm just using something as a justification. So that is your work. It's between you and Krishna. Where are you finding justification? Where is it about you? Where is it about Krishna? Where is it about doing your dharma and your duty? Right? So these are path, the elephant and the rider. You cannot move the elephant by force. You can only clear the path. So in terms of planning, the same thing. You planned. I mean, we're all experts, PhDs in planning. But am I able to get the execution done? No. Why? Because the elephant was not budging. So now at step 7, no more trying to push the elephant. But there's only one thing. We hand over the elephant to Krishna. Yeah.
okay, Mataji. Same applies for all spiritual activities and all other things.
See, because the whole problem is in the context of analogy with the elephant and the 7th step and the struggle. The whole thing is we are trying to push the elephant. There is resistance, there is force. So we are trying to mentally, I have to do all these things. These are all spiritual activities that will help me. So the whole point is I have to do these spiritual things because I have to be a good devotee. I have to be a good wife. It's all about I. But then when it actually becomes like, when you're in that step 7, where you're like, I want to float in Krishna's mercy, the elephant is naturally moving. I'm sure you have some experience with some services. The elephant just moves. You're like, oh, I didn't expect that. But when I have to do it for myself, there's so much struggle. So the step 7 is about, Krishna, please remove every single character defect that gets in the way of my service to you and your devotees. So that's the path. Even clearing the path, it may be hard because the elephant is for years and years and years. You have only just pushed the elephant. You haven't heard, you haven't had a dialogue with the elephant. So step 7 is like I'm saying is a liberation step, but you have to do first step 6. Keep doing that. Fourth, like sometimes, in our group, I'm very straightforward. I tell you, in some occasions, we have to be very careful to tell people, yeah, but some of you, when we're having private conversation, I tell you, yeah, but that's because you're attached to this particular thing. Go back to your pattern of your step 4, this particular issue. So we have our own little boots in cement, pink, but these pink boots in cement. How can I give up my pink boots? So it depends on our own favorite boots in cement. What is your boots in cement? What is it? So this is a question that you have to journal, and then we can talk about it in the meetings. So this is where we process things in the meetings. So come to Anartha Nivritti meeting, and that's where you can hear how other people are clearing their way. You hear how people are doing, but without comparison, but taking inspiration, doing the service of being there, sharing the space, sharing your experiences with honesty, and gradually you'll come to that point. It's not overnight thing. Step 7 is a given. It's given to us because it's a reward of doing first 6 steps. Yeah. So we're going to end the session here today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, kindly comment in the chat and we will try to address it in the next video. And do attend our meetings. Hare Krishna. The link will be below how to attend the meetings.